This is a modular instrument I built from scratch inside FazePlant. You can see this top row of macro pots, each assigned a different function that fundamentally alters the resulting soundscape. Think of the entire patch as an orchestra. If I'm the conductor, the macros are separate sections, each playing their individual parts as and when I need them. I particularly enjoy this analogy because it appeals to my fragile ego. This is a relatively complex setup, so let's keep things fun while I give you an overview of the parameters and later on some examples of how you might use this in a game. If you have no interest in the technical side, you can skip to the timestamp below. Although, without context, it doesn't really pay off as well in my opinion. Alright, that's enough preamble. You came here for cool sound effects. First we have the spark sound, made of tinfoil and polystyrene, or aluminum foil and styrofoam for my American friends. I would like to point out that aluminum foil is more accurate to the material used and, like it or not, was the original pronunciation. 1 point for the Americans. I recorded these sounds in my home studio with an Octava MK012 small diaphragm condenser, then processed them through several filters, distortion and a myriad of envelopes and complex LFOs that mostly modulate the pitch and EQ in some interesting ways. Both of these processed audio sources put together sound like this. I can alter the level, the frequency, and my personal favourite, the length. Which extends the decay of either source's envelope as the macro approaches 100%. Just before we move on from the spark, I can also adjust the stereo image and the spark's position within the stereo field. With a little bit more time, I could probably smooth out the starts and stops of the random pan as it passes through the stereo field, but it's not a macro that I reach for very often. Next, we have the crackle sound. This is more boilerplate, as it's just a library sample of a welding torch with some filter modulation. It sounds like this. For the crackle, I had originally used a white noise generator with rapid filter modulation, but I concede that in most cases a well-recorded audio source is far more characterful. Just because the more difficult option makes me feel cleverer doesn't mean it translates to a better end product, but it does make me feel cleverer. Note that the crackle is also tied to the same macro that dictates the spark chants. Let's hear those together. Let's have a quick look at the buzz and plasma. The buzz sound is a file I designed in an earlier project, put through even more processing, sidechain modulation, and filtering in multipass. It sounds like this. The plasma is a recording of me rubbing my hand over the surface of a balloon, and it sounds like this. The balloon source and this library sample of falling rocks are also sent to a sideband channel in multipass. Their collective signals drive an audio follower that modulates the gain of these 3 frequency bands for the buzz sound effect, adding movement and grit to the overall sound. I'm not going to demonstrate it here separately because you've already heard it in the buzz signal. Lastly, I connected this pitch snap-in to a couple of LFOs that modulate the buzz generator's output level and its overall pitch. This helps sell the effect of equipment powering up or down. Altogether, this monstrosity sounds something like this. This is all great fun to play about with, but please be mindful that the cable punk modular instrument is a pathway to many abilities some may consider unnatural. So you're making a game and you need something for environmental hazards. That might sound something like this. Maybe you want to convey malfunctioning or broken machinery. That could sound something like this. Maybe you need a nice crunchy layer to add some heft and body to an otherworldly and overpowered sci-fi weapon. I hope you enjoyed this quick dive into my custom-built cable punk audio generator. For more audio wizardry, hire me. I'm great.